Rancel again. Welcome to The Real Thing. Today's episode is First Love. I don't know what got me thinking to the first time I fell in love, but probably it was because I did a recording a couple of weeks ago on my Sweet 16. So it seems like at this point in life I am reflecting upon those teenage years. And I'd like to share this story with you about T. I'm going to call him T, because I don't know if he wants his name released, who I fell in love with when I was, I think, 14 and a half years old. So here's what happened. A girlfriend and I went to a concert at the Nassau Coliseum to see Neil Young. And that's out on Long Island, for those of you that don't know where Nassau is. So this was 1972, I guess? And Nixon had just been impeached or had made the resignation speech. So the audience was euphoric, and Neil Young, before he even played, announced Nixon's resignation. So we were just in seventh heaven. We were sitting way up in the nosebleed section, and next to me were three boys. T, who had long black hair, curly or wavy, black eyes, tall, if I recall, maybe 5'11". Next to him was his friend Ray, who had blondish, what's that called again? Where it's sort of blonde orangey hair, and his was curly, and he had freckles. And next to him was a guy named Steve. So there was Steve, Ray, and T. And these boys were flirting with us like mad, and we were basking in all that attention. So I believe that one of the two, not T, was sitting next to me. And eventually, throughout the concert, they switched seats, and I was sitting next to T, my girlfriend was sitting next to Steve, and I guess Ray was on his lonesome. We were laughing, we were speaking, we were talking. I think we were smoking some joints. Those were in the days when cigarette smoking and pot smoking was going on at a concert hall. Nobody cared. And I guess Teddy, Teddy, I said it. Uh-oh. Well, there are a million Teddys in the world. So T and I became fast friends, and he lived in Nassau County, and I lived in Suffolk. Both areas on Long Island, probably about a 25-minute drive. I was in middle school, 8th grade, and he was in high school already in 10th grade. So back in that day, that was a freshman. And we decided that we would see each other and go steady. However, there was one snag. How were we going to see each other? Long Island was set up, and is still set up, I guess, where there are 3 or 2 different train tracks, or lines rather. They don't cross, though, east to west. They go north to south. However, his stop on the train was not where I was living. I'm kind of foggy on it. What happened was that I had to go into Queens, which is New York City, to then take a train back to him. So that whole trip would take an hour, more or less, because on the times that my mother didn't drive me, then I would take a train. And that's how it began. I think we saw each other every weekend. And at some point after beginning this relationship, both our liberal mothers allowed us to sleep over each other's homes, albeit in separate bedrooms, which of course wasn't true. We would sneak into each other's bedrooms. And I think that was after like 6 months, but I'm really not sure. And it doesn't matter. We had a wonderful relationship. We listened to music. That was our thing. We would listen to Traffic, to Led Zeppelin, to David Bowie, to Yes, to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. to all the glitter rock bands. We were mostly stoned, that's true. We were smoking pot in his bedroom or in mine, listening to music. And then we would go out with his friends and sort of knock around the neighborhood. I think one of them was driving, so we did get around a bit. We'd go to the beach. It was next to Jones Beach. We'd go to the North Shore where Billy Joel lived, and we'd go to concerts. We were madly in love with one another and couldn't separate until the one day, I guess about a year later, I was on vacation with my father and stepmother, brother and stepsister in Florida, in Miami. And Teddy was desperate that I call him every single day, and my father didn't let me use the payphone to call him every single day, and actually got really pissed off at me that I was even in communication with a boyfriend. And so I guess on the last day that I was allowed to call Teddy, I said, look, my dad is not letting me call you, so you'll have to wait till I get back. And that was only a 2-week vacation, so when I got back, I had called him, but something had changed. I guess he felt rejected, or he was angry that I hadn't called every single day. So eventually, the whole thing just sort of fell apart. And one of the main reasons, besides that, was the fact that my then divorced parents were seeing other people, and my mother was seeing and going out with his older brother. Mind blown. His older brother was about 22 years old, and I was 14, and my brother was 12. And eventually, it's true, they got married. And then the closing line was, Teddy, I can't go out with you anymore because you would then be my step-uncle. And that kind of sounds like incest. No good. So, yeah, that's how we broke up. And that's the end of this story on First Loves. Thank you. Join us next week. And see you. Thanks for watching The Real Thing. I really appreciate it. If you want to find out more, you can subscribe to any of the social media. And also you can click on this video and see other episodes. So contact me and give me any comments that you have. I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks.